What up?
Go.
You gonna bring him in? Alright, welcome back to the channel, everyone. I don't usually film anywhere like other than outside. I don't like to be in the house. I don't like to be in anywhere that kind of has my stuff in it, but as you can tell from the background, it probably looks a little bit different and probably something you haven't seen. Ended up moving to a different house, another part-time kind of house. Been doing part-time houses for a long time, but moved in, got my toolboxes and stuff set up, got the TV, I got David set up, you know, got the Trump shit, some stuff up here. Kind of liking it, kind of enjoying it, and having a little bit of room again. I had my other garage, I didn't have cameras and didn't have the desire to like kind of want to do this, so truck's just kind of sitting here hanging out. It's dark, you can't really see a whole lot. My front right caliper is messed up. Something's going on with, can't see anything in here. Something's going on with the vane control position sensor or whatever, or VGT solenoid something, or something's wrong with the MAF, which I took it out and cleaned it today. I didn't do anything with it though. I haven't drove yet. I don't know. If you guys know me, I don't really know probably what I'm gonna do with this truck yet. Kind of like it. It looks pretty cool sitting right here, but I'll get into that in a different video. We are actually going to, I'm gonna start tearing this thing down. I've had this thing for like 6 years. I actually did a video on this bike because I had 2 of them, and I rebuilt this bike like 7 years ago, 6-7 years ago. I got it from my grandpa and stripped it down to the frame, powder coated the frame, and it's just gotten destroyed over the years. You know, plastics. I did the water trick on the gas tank here. There was a big dent on the one side. I filled it up with water, put it in the freezer, and it popped a dent out, but then it got dented again. Like the first time I put this thing in a trailer, I put all the new plastics on, or not the plastics, the stickers, and ratchet strap snapped, screwed that all up. I dropped it over here, tripped over an extension cord, broke that, broke the throttle, broke the foot peg. I put a new foot peg on it, and then let someone else ride it up north. They broke the clutch lever again, but this one isn't even actually supposed to be on there. Broke the original one. When I first rebuilt it, I got new sprockets for it, new chain, brand new tires. I put new clutch levers on it. I found like the last set of OEM ones. I had a local power sports company try and find the sprocket for me, and they said it was the only one they could find, and he told me good luck if I ever break it again. I didn't do anything with the motor, but this time I am. I want to pull the jug off and see what's going on down in there. There's something in the bottom end of the motor that's making some noise. And I think it's going to end up being something in the speedometer over here. Kind of sounds like it's in this area. The clutch still feels good, but after you ride it for a while, it warms up and it kind of slips. So maybe it's something in the clutch, I don't know. But I'm going to start tearing this thing down, and when I'm done with it, I want this thing to look like it's right off the showroom floor. Probably won't ever happen, right?
No.
Nope. So, alright, we're going to get into tearing this thing down. I wanted to do a little, like, couple rides on it before and put it in the video, but I want to do it right now. I want to start working on it. My truck's here. It'll be here for a while, and I just kind of want to get it going. So we're going to set this boy up here. We're going to take some stuff off and try and use this top workbench right here. You know, set some stuff out here so we have some room, and we'll get to it. we ended up cutting it for a night. I don't know, I was out of it last night. I'm moving the camera everywhere. Probably really wasn't getting a whole lot of good angles, and I'm gonna try and set something up to where on both sides of this thing I can set the camera in the same spot so I don't have to find certain angles and whatever. But last night we stopped with the tank, the seat, the plastics. I got like half of the harness pulled out. There really isn't much to the back of this harness. You got the back brake light, the 2 turn signals. You have a the sensor down here for the actual brake pedal, you know, to turn the back light on. The solenoid up here that's attached to the battery tray. Let's see, just kind of took off the front fender. Pretty much got the harness pulled all the way up to here. We're gonna go ahead and take the throttle out of the carb. We will take the speedometer out of here, or I'm not even sure the correct terminology on these here. We're going to take pretty much anything that's connected to the motor, wiring, cables. We're going to take it all off and then pull it all through the front, and then I'm going to dismantle everything off of the handlebars and take the headlight, take all this stuff out of here, so then I can probably get the motor out of it. I don't want to take, you know, any of the wheels or anything off and none of the forks. I want to get the motor out first so the bike can kind of hold itself up, and then can lift the frame up, put it on the bench, and start dismantling everything else. This is kind of what sounded like it was making some noise down in there, but I don't think that's what's going on here. So we'll throw this retainer back in there so we don't lose that. And then what I'm gonna do here for this, a little bit of electrical tape. I don't want this to pop out on us. So will the electrical tape hold? Probably not, but that's the only thing I have handy real quick. Might as well run it out instead of peeling it. Let's go ahead and see if we can get that out of there. That looks like a 10 or an 11 or something maybe. So you guys might see me do some stuff here that looks kind of dumb, but it's been like 6 years since I've taken apart this bike, so I'm not 100% sure. Can't really remember exactly how everything's done, so try not to make fun of me. Pretty much how these oil injected motors work is they're primed by the oil pump, or they're primed by the throttle. You can see here when you twist the throttle, it primes the pump, but it's also connected to the crank. So I mean, there's oil, like fresh oil in there. I never knew if this oil pump actually worked or not, so I always mixed a little bit of oil in the gas anyway, you know, just in case, for like a backup. I know a lot of people bypass them, but I kind of want this bike to work like factory. So right now kind of having a hard time getting the cable out, and pretty much what it is the spring in here that, you know, brings it back is actually holding the line in here. So I need to get a little small screwdriver and pry that out. But I know what's going to happen is, sorry if you guys can hear me breathing heavy. I've been kind of sick the last couple days, and it's like taking my breath away from me. So I'm really not trying to like talk too much, but I'm trying to explain some stuff at the same time. But I know what's going to happen is when I disconnect this here, is it's probably going to shoot back, and then I'm going to have a pain in the ass time. Yeah, just like, I'm really anal when it comes to certain stuff. I did take that off here because it was actually a little easier than trying to do that inside of there. I know it's probably on its spline here to drop back in. So I'm gonna put these screws in. I'm not gonna mess with anything in this motor right now. We're gonna get this motor rebuilt, like probably 100% gone through bottom end, top end. I don't really deal with bottom ends too much. I don't like it. It's just not my thing. So probably won't mess with it right now. But maybe. I don't know. Depends on, I might watch some videos, see if I can find some people, you know, in the past that have rebuilt these motors. Maybe I can watch them, kind of see the intensity of it. But I could do the top end, no problem. Done a bunch of top ends, but not no bottom ends. So we'll just kind of leave this in here loose. So there's that one. And we will go ahead and spin this guy off. I'm really curious on what happened inside this motor. Motor still runs good, but there's definitely a noise going on somewhere. My buddy and I were getting a little bit too rowdy on it in front of the house one time, the old house, and just trying to do a bunch of first gear launches thing. I don't know, trying to pop some wheelies and shit in it, and wasn't really working out too well. I'm gonna shove this down here for now, just to keep it covered. You pretty much got that. We got the plug here, and then what I always do is I take pictures of everything, no matter what. Take pictures of all the plugs, you know, what goes where, what side. I mean, anything I can do to help me at the end try and put it all back together. But I'm gonna set you guys up on a time lapse and get this done. I know there's probably a lot of videos or a lot of time already of dismantling it, so I'm just going to take the air box off, and then I'm going to take the sprocket cover off here, and then take the chain out, and then can pretty much lift the motor out of this thing. Disconnected the clutch cable and got that all done. So yeah, I'm not gonna bore you guys with anymore. I'm just gonna take this air box out really quick, and then, like I said, take off the cover, separate the chain, and then I'm gonna pull the motor out of it. There's a lot of little stupid stuff that I just didn't really remember. Like this bolt, you can't get out without taking both foot pegs off. One's been on here since I rebuilt it like 6 years ago, but this one I think broke off. No, that one broke and I had to get a new one from eBay. So that one was easy to come off. This one was a pain in the butt. That, and then right here is the sleeve for the rear brake pedal. So this slides through here, and then on the back side there's a cotter pin, and then there's a little bracket for the sensor for the rear brake. So when you push the brake down, this extends and sends power to the back. So that was kind of a pain in the ass to get off. Chain came off super easy. I don't think you can actually get this air filter box out without taking off the shock. I took all the bolts out of it, but I can't figure out why it won't. I think there's something right here. I can't feel. Where's that one right here? There might be another one right there. That's probably it, honestly. I'm gonna take that out real quick. All right. Well, like you guys seen, got the motor out. I was just kind of going around with a rag and just kind of trying to clean up the frame, and it's still, the paint on the frame is still pretty clean. There's a couple spots, you know, where like your foot was rubbing, you know, on it while you were riding it, or some stuff nicked it. You know, the back fender up here was kind of getting some stuff, but it's still fairly clean. I actually might even leave the headset in still, because there really isn't, there's no play or nothing in these bearings. So I might end up just separating the forks from here and then take the bars off. I don't know if I'm going to try and clean these up and polish them, or just try and find a new set. I've, you know, these scratches under here don't really mean anything, but that's where, you know, the grips are going there. So I think the next step is I'm gonna hoist this thing up, or set it up on something so it'll stay stable, and then I'm gonna take the wheels off, and then I'm trying to leave myself some room in here. You know, the kids are in and out of here all the time too, and working on some other stuff at the same time, so just kind of pretty much using this bench as for whatever, obviously. So I'm gonna get it all cleaned up and organized, and probably gonna start from, you know, the inside out. So I think the first thing I might work on is probably the motor. You know, get the frame cleaned up, get some new bolts for the motor. You know, those bolts are okay, you know, they all work fine, but like I said, I'm trying to do this right, and get the right diameter, the right length. I'm pretty sure those are the ones that came out of it. I can't remember if I had to put different ones in it when I got it, or when I rebuilt it the first time. But get the frame cleaned up, and then maybe start tearing into the motor, see what I got going on in here. Or I might, like I said, I might just send this out and just ask for it to be completely rebuilt. You know, new cylinder, or not new cylinder. Hopefully the jug is okay. Everything in here is fine, but you know, new bottom end, new bearings, new piston, new rod, new crank, new reeds. I mean, the whole 9 yards. I want this thing to be really nice, and then once I get that back, you know, I can put that in, and if that's how that's gonna go, you know, while this is gone, I could start doing some other stuff, you know, putting new shoes in the wheels, trying to find some new sensors, clean up that wiring harness. You know, the plastics, I'm either going to try and find a new set, because these ones are kind of beat up and the tank's all dented. So if I can find a clean set for it, I will. I'll find them and I'll get them. But if not, it's going to be too cold in here by the time I get to do it to be able to paint anything. So probably send these off to get painted too. I'm sure it probably couldn't be too much, a couple $100 to get all that done. But you know, I can start going through some other stuff myself. Start going through all these wires here, get this brake setup working right. this never really worked right, because I think I actually had this on like a, say like a whole degree off, because you can set it here. And I think it actually needed to come down more, or up, however you would place it, because when you push this forward or down, it's supposed to pull down on that sensor, and something wasn't right. Either the spring's worn out or sensor's worn out. I don't know if you can screw that in or not anymore. We're gonna get it all figured out though. Pretty much from here on out, it's just going to be trying to find all the right parts for it. You know, the ignition coil was obviously still working fine. Everything for spark and fuel and everything was still working good on the bike. The bike ran really good. Just I know the clutch was starting to slip. Which, you know, new baskets and all that, so that won't be too hard. New basket, new plates, friction plates, all that won't be too hard to do. It's just mainly going to be trying to find all the stuff that I want to get replaced on it. So this is just going to be kind of like a over the winter project for myself. You know, I'm not really rushing this. I don't have a reason to rush it. It's just kind of like a thing I want to do in between, you know, working on the truck or whatever else we're doing on this channel. Should just kind of, you know, kind of be like a filler just for something to watch, you know, in the meantime. So, well, that is going to wrap up this video, guys. Like I said, just kind of coming out, messing with it here and there. Couple things. Sorry about all of the little like blotches and blurriness on the screen. I think I mentioned it already. I screwed the lens up on my camera, trying to come through with another one. I did actually tear into the motor. Good news, bad news, but you guys will see that in the next video. We actually just swapped the turbo out on a 6.0. Did that today. Took me about 4 hours. The guy comes in and he said, yeah, I think smoking real bad. Told him to drop it off. I had a turbo laying around from Justin's, well, mine and Justin's old truck. She's toast. Definitely not supposed to do that. But I was actually gonna just kind of tear into this and see what actually happened inside of it. I figured I'd just show you that real quick, but yeah, gonna wrap up this video. I started doing this video, we're already at like 20 minutes or something. So next video about this would be definitely tearing into the motor. I figured out what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the wheels, shocks. I'm gonna do all the stuff around the outside, get the brakes back on, you know, all the not the kill switch, all the sensors and switches and stuff for the brakes. I'm gonna get that working first, because it is actually kind of a pain in the butt to work on this whole brake system here with the motor in. It'd be 10 times easier, you know, that way I can kind of come in here and adjust some stuff. So probably be doing that next. Like I said, I did tear into the motor, but we're gonna hold off on this for a little bit. That'll be probably one of the last things we do, or just over time. So if you guys enjoy, or some of you guys enjoy the motorsport stuff, you know, hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, you know, it all helps. Drop a comment below, you know, if I missed anything, or, you know, wrong terminology on certain things or whatever, you know, just chit chat. And I will see you guys in the next video.